my favorite books is Atlas Shrugged, and this year they came out with the movie of it, which I didn't get to see in theaters, but I rented it from Netflix. And even though I rented a DVD called Atlas Shrugged Part 1, I guess I wasn't thinking how unfinished it was, because I got to the ending and I went, like, really? Really? I mean, so I went online to see if I could rent Part 2 right away, and I guess I have to wait till 2012 or 2013 for that. I mean, how weird is that? I just don't get it. Why couldn't they make Part 1 and Part 2 and release them both at the same time so we can watch the whole thing? It's not like it's a Harry Potter Part 1, 2, 3, or 4, where if you watch one story, you get a complete story. You might not get the whole story of Harry Potter, but you get a complete story in each individual unit. This was just, it just ended in a very strange place. Made me feel very unfinished, unsettled, no closure. And I was at Disneyland the other day, and in Disneyland, I like going to Fantasyland because I like the kiddie rides, because I'm pretty much a wimp. So we're waiting in line to go on to Snow White, and my friend said, "Did you ever notice how this ride is unfinished?" And I'm like, "What do you mean the ride's unfinished?" We go through it, and the very last picture scene in the Snow White ride is, you know, the seven dwarfs climbing up a hill, and at the top of the hill, the wicked witch is looking down at them. And the next thing that happens is, and they lived happily ever after. It's like they lost the picture of the prince coming and kissing Snow White and waking her up, and then they live happily ever after. Unfinished business. You know, this death hoax really is going to be unfinished forever for me. I will always believe that he's alive. I've reread my book, and I'm one more time convinced of all the early facts, all the early clues that we were into. That was really, really why I was drawn into it. You know, they weren't just accidents, coincidences. They were definitely planted, or anyhow, I'll always believe he's alive. He will probably always remain dead, and there will always be non-closure for me and so many others out there because of this. I just got to see Paris Jackson and Ellen DeGeneres the other day, and a lot of the death hoax videos zoomed in on the fact that she made a big deal out of saying she can cry on cue. And then they flip over to when she was at the memorial, and she's like, "Daddy has been the best daddy," and she cries. And they're trying to say performance. Come on, guys, leave the kids alone. I really feel uncomfortable when we pick on them like that. Although, you know, it was unique that they zoomed in on the fact that she can cry on cue and made a big deal out of it. I mean, I guess if you're an actress, one of the more challenging things there would be to do is to cry on cue. No, I can't do it. So she should be pretty proud of herself that she can do it. I can laugh on cue. See, easy, no problem, but crying on cue is a little bit more challenging. So she should be very proud that she can do that. I have so much unfinished business in my life, unfinished business, and I feel like I'm being pulled back. You know, I don't like it. I don't like unfinished business. I don't like the fact that I don't know if Michael Jackson is alive for sure. I mean, yeah, I know it, but I don't like the fact that you don't know it. Okay, and I don't like the fact that I don't know what's going to happen in certain areas of my life that I was always pretty secure in. So here's hoping 2012 brings closure to a lot of this. Happy holidays.